Meeting for February 9th to order. Please stand if you're able for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, can you please call the roll?
Dana Berthold.
Here.
Catherine Johnson.
Here.
Joseph Kostick. Richard Lassine.
Present.
Caitlin Olenek. Deidre Stokes. Aaron Janik.
Here. All right, no one has signed up for public comment. We have no presentations this evening. We are on to the consent agenda. I would entertain a motion to approve items D1 through D6.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions? Hearing none, can you please open the vote?
Voting is open. The vote is unanimous. Motion passes.
All right, next up on our action item is the presentation of invoices for January 16th, 2026 through February 19th, 2026.
Can I get a motion to approve invoices from January 16th, 2026 through February 19th, 2026, the amount of $4,258,751.49 as presented?
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any questions? I had a couple. Dr. Dubek, the insurance claims look a little higher than what we've seen in the past. Can you address that, please?
Sure. As a reminder, that 1.3 million is medical and dental combined. A little bit higher a month here in January, but again, that stop loss at the end of the calendar year had reset now. And later in the meeting, you'll see the quarterly insurance report from Kelly. So we tracked calendar year funds, premiums funded over total cost. That led to an adjustment in our plan design for the calendar year. So there's calendar year and fiscal year, obviously. Fiscal year, budget-wise, we are right on track.
And then we had a new plan design beginning January 1.
Yep.
So we're just a month and a half in with a new plan design.
That's right.
And then DLA, where is it here? 33,798. Is that, is there a split between the life
Yes, sir.
safety?
Yep. 22,841 went toward life safety, and then about 10,000 of it is for some ongoing bleacher work, different things like that from the past summer. So most of it at this point is now in the design phase for upcoming. And then next month and in the coming months, you'll see more non-life safety costs for DLA and design and engineering, but that's for upcoming projects instead of the ones past.
And then the only other question I had was the GSF looks a little higher than what we're used
Yep.
to seeing, maybe?
So GSF, we have a contract with them, obviously, for permanent staffing at our 3 active high schools. Some of that is some ancillary invoices for additional events that get scheduled. We have seen additional events at North where we will send custodial for cleaning, but that's a pass-through cost because that's factored into the rent that we charge.
Anything else from anybody? All right. Can you please open the vote? It's open. All right. I was on the other screen.
The vote is unanimous. Motion passes.
Sorry, everyone. The treasurer's report for January 2026.
In January, revenues totaled $3.6 million. Expenses were $36.9 million, of which $27.1 was the January 1st bond payment as scheduled. Total cash balance on January 31 was $68.4 million. Through the end of January, we have seen 49.8% of budgeted operating revenues received, 55.1% of budgeted operational spending has occurred. As you can see through January 31 of 2025, last year, same point, we were at 50.1 and 55.8 respectively. So we're within 1%, the same point last year, continuing to trend well. Investment report, liquid rates have declined to approximately 3.6%. We only had one T-bill mature We have a lot of our investments right now broken into small CDs, maturing in February and March. And I have worked even this week with PMA, and we are making some additional Treasury bill investments. Now, I did include in your packet materials a new CPI report from PMA. The running 12 months through January is now down to 2.4% for CPI. So in terms of a budget standpoint, that means obviously that things are tightening up. So that's something we need to watch in terms of our spending as CPI comes down. But I do think eventually the Fed will follow suit and we'll see these decline as well. So that's something I'm watching. Cash flow, state comptroller, I mentioned this last month, so I did want to bring it up. They did process the second fiscal quarter's transportation payments. And as a reminder, that final special education transport allocation given to us for the year, assuming that they do make all of the payments on time from here through the end of the year, is still $350,000 lower than that initial total. So this spring, I'll be bringing an amended budget to you, as well as some updated forecasting, and that's something that will be accounted for. At this time, from cash flow, no interfund loans projected as being necessary this year.
How many payments are left for transportation?
2.
2? And if they were not to make one, or when do they due, actually, first, do you know?
Well, typically, we would receive one end of March, maybe early April, and then they typically do, in recent years, they have been making the 4th before the close of the fiscal year. We're kind of back to a point that I saw maybe 8 to 10 years ago where they were delayed. Eventually, we may get that money, but we're now crossing fiscal years, right? So that just affects how I have to account things.
Don't know if they will. I was in a couple meetings last week, and the thought was, because of where we are in our political sequence, we're going to get everything on time. We'll talk a little later. The budget address, we will not get as much as we had anticipated.
That's right.
But we will, they anticipate us getting our money on time.
And then if we don't get one of those, or the last payment, for instance, interfund loan, you think?
No, I think
we'd be okay?
I think we'll be okay without
Okay.
an interfund loan.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I have no further questions. Anyone else? No. Entertain a motion to approve the Treasurer's report for January 2026 as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please open the vote.
The vote is unanimous. Motion passes.
All right, next up is the Student Activities Report for January 2026.
Your backup materials, the student activities report for the month ended January. Total student activity fund balance is $2,208,413. Revenues of $390,062. Expenditures of $513,633. Some timing differences. Cheer is a combination of fundraising and getting some money from the general ledger side, so that will all be cleared up for their uniforms. Class of 27, that would be the prom deposits that will be recouping here with sales over the next 2 months. Ask you to approve the student activity report as presented.
Entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. Can you please open the vote?
Voting is open.
Yeah, mine completely stopped.
Do you want to?
why-
I'm an
that's why-
aye.
that's
It's
why we
not
need the
popping
next
up.
agenda
Oh, there it
item.
is. I got it.
May I-
I'm good.
May I call the vote?
Mine just popped up.
Oh, okay. Yep, it did.
We're good?
Ooh, it's really
Would you
slow.
like me to call? Yeah, no, I voted Okay.
Well, good thing we're talking about the wireless
timing of the
infrastructure
next- the timing
update.
of the next
I think
item
this is
is
a ploy
perfect.
of some
Aaron,
sort.
may I have your vote?
Yeah, I said aye. I
Okay,
voted, yeah.
It didn't.
Didn't come through? Okay, I'm an
Aaron
aye.
and I are in a black, because we're in a black hole too.
The vote is unanimous.
Hey,
Motion
I'll-
passes.
Word there. All right, next up is the wireless infrastructure update. Perfect timing. I know. I guess we have to approve it now so we can keep voting.
Go ahead, Cheryl.
Okay, tonight's proposal is for an update to our wireless infrastructure. In December 2025, the district submitted a request for proposals through the federal E-rate process to replace our wireless network. The majority of our indoor wireless access points were purchased in 2019. While they have served us well, the equipment is aging and does not support the latest Wi-Fi technology advancements. The RFP that we issued included both indoor and outdoor wireless projects. At this time, we're presenting the indoor option for the board for approval. We received 3 proposals from CDW, Qubit Networks, and Sentinel Technologies. A cost breakdown of all 3 proposals is included in tonight's memo for you. Each vendor proposed access points that have similar capabilities. In addition to competitive pricing, the CDW proposal leverages the district's recent investment in the Juniper AI Mist platform and provides a single management plane for managing our wired and wireless networks. Multiple districts in the Chicagoland area have adopted similar Juniper-based networks. The strong install base among our peers, the positive references, and our own experience with the Juniper products gives the district personnel a high level of confidence in this solution. Vendors also provided options for outdoor solutions. While we believe we have a solid plan for the outdoor deployment, we would prefer to validate the new equipment in our environment before committing to a large-scale implementation. We're proposing a small-scale pilot first to confirm compatibility with all of our devices, point-of-sale systems, streaming services, and other applications. The outdoor wireless replacement remains part of our district 5-year technology plan. However, we are considering a phased implementation to align with the fiscal year budgets and other district priorities. The current E-rate funding window would allow project implementation between April 1st, 2026 and September 30th, 2027. We anticipate coming back to the board at a later date with a recommendation for the outdoor project. So again, at this time, we're seeking approval for a refresh of the indoor wireless network. It's within the current fiscal year budget and aligns with our 5-year plan. The approval would be for the CDW Juniper proposal for $479,526 as presented.
All right. Any questions for Cheryl? When would this project get started?
We can't start before April 1st because of E-rate rules. So if the board approves it, it's already been submitted. We'll do the official contract through E-rate. We can't place any orders till April 1st, and then we can start whenever the equipment arrives.
About how long does it take to install this?
It took 3 to 4 months to
Oh.
get switch equipment, with the backlogs on
Okay.
equipment. So we could possibly do some of it over the summer, or it could be a fall project that we could roll out a little bit at a time in different areas of the building.
Cheryl, do they anticipate anything that would be maybe like ground wiring or anything that would be impacted that might not be compatible to getting all of this up and running? And I don't know anything about electricity or Wi-Fi, but you know what I mean? Like, is there anything that would prevent it from working the way that it's intended to work in the building
Okay.
based on outside?
The electrical would not impact anything because the access points are powered off the switches. They use power over Ethernet. So the power comes from the switches that we purchased last year and we're installing right now. We do have a cabling RFP that is out right now. We hope to come back to the board next month with the cabling RFP. So the cabling RFP would give us faster speeds on the Wi-Fi with the newer cabling and set us up for some future projects for intercoms and things like that.
Great, thank you.
Any further questions? All right. Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to approve the wireless infrastructure update as presented. A motion is second. Can you please open the vote?
Vote should be open.
It is. Look at that. Wireless infrastructure already working better. It's amazing.
This vote is unanimous. Motion passes.
All right. Next up is the informational items. We have the report of the Lincoln Way Special Education District 843 Governing Board meeting held January 27th, 2026.
At our most recent meeting, typical updates, looking at student counts. The student enrollment is slightly lower than maybe what was anticipated in terms of some of the programs. And the bus monitors are a little bit lower as well, so there will be some adjustments to rates and the finance department will look at all of the costs to see if that needs to be adjusted any further going forward. They're having great success over at the SELF program in getting more students transitioning to their least restrictive environment and being able to take more general education classes because of the supports that are in place. So that leads well to high school, and so the more students are prepared for high school setting, they're just really doing a great job there in terms of their support for students. The other major item was the school maintenance project grant was submitted to get the repairs for the bathrooms at Pioneer Grove. So they needed to be up or repaired because some of those pipes in the bathrooms are older and they don't drain properly anymore. So that's what the school maintenance project grant was applied for, and that's what they'll be using those funds to get repaired. And that's it.
Next up is the FOIA requests.
In your backup materials, if there's any questions, we can answer those.
The buildings and ground report.
Also in your backup materials, Chuck and his team have done a great job staying up on that.
Just one quick question. I noticed natural gas seems to be trending quite higher. Is that just costs have it?
Draw.
Luck of the draw?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wish there was something we could do about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do the best
Yeah.
we can.
Okay. Just popped out at me. So. Next up is the community relations report.
Once again, included in your backup materials.
Anything from District 210 Advisory?
Just an update. I mean, we met twice since the last board meeting. So January 20th and then again on February 10th. So I just wrote down some notes. The January 20th meeting was a little bit longer, and then February 10th was speedy. So, January 20th, Dr. Fury provided an update regarding plans for summer 2026. The district still intends to continue offering in-person summer school. In addition, families may have the option to petition for online summer school in cases of documented extenuating circumstances if they cannot do in-person learning. The committee engaged in thoughtful discussion and asked clarifying questions specifically related to regarding online offerings. In particular, several teachers raised concerns regarding certain core courses, including sophomore English, Algebra 2, and pre-calculus, and how online delivery of those courses could impact student readiness, particularly in preparation for the ACT. The overarching themes reflected continued attention, concern to academic rigor, instructional integrity, and student preparedness. As such, I would recommend that we do come back in the fall to review data as it relates to how many students took the online summer school offerings and compare that to the in-person summer school, and then do a cross outcomes to see, if, what happens in relation to student outcomes, in particular related to the ACT, just to have a better guided future decisions. So I would like to see that data moving forward in the fall, just to take a look at it. And then February 10th was really quick. We took a look at student handbook review. Most of the updates were quick. It was just about clarifying simple text edits, language clarifications, and ensuring improved consistency across the three buildings. No major substantive changes were really noted. However, one practice involves the practice of related to community service hours. We do require 25 community service hours as it relates to senior or transfer students. In particular, previously, if you were a senior student, transfer student, you would still have to take complete 6 hours of community service. Now, the recommendation is to prorate it, which is a very thoughtful recommendation. So if you still came in as a freshman, you would still have to do 25 hours, but if you come as a sophomore, you would do 18 hours. Junior transfer students would be recommended for 12 hours. And I think that recommendation reflects an effort for an equitable expectation, specifically related to the timeline that they're within our building. So, yeah, it was really well done and thoughtful. So I think we'll have a first reading in March with a possible board adoption in April. Yeah, so, really well done.
Okay.
And congratulations to our Lincoln Way East cheer team and all of their coaches for their victory at state. So congratulations on that.
They will be here next month.
Yeah, great.
We also have the quarterly insurance report now.
I can speak a little bit to this. I know Kelly can jump in as well. So in your packet materials, you have a Q4 insurance report prepared by Alliant. And this just, as you know, helps us track our medical and dental claims. As you take a look, you see a deficit of $630,000 in terms of total cost from medical over premiums collected. Now, one of the things that we've done, as Dr. Tingley mentioned, in terms of plan design, this is not a Lincoln Way specific matter. This is a healthcare sector matter, as I'm sure you've heard and read nationally in terms of healthcare costs right now. But additionally, what we account for in our budget and what we planned for in the fiscal budget that you adopted was these additional costs. So I did do a little bit of analysis on where we are for the first 6 months of the fiscal year that align with the end of this calendar year for this report. And we're within $20,000 of where I had us for the budget. So we're doing okay here. Happy to take any questions, though, that you may have.
I know Dr. Tingley mentioned there was a new plan design. We have the PPO, the BCS HMO, is the new plan design one of those? Or was it within those, there was a new?
Yeah, so we had I'll say, and maybe Kelly advised me if I'm using the wrong terms, but it's standard PPO, we have a Blue Choice PPO, and then we have the HMO. The standard PPO is essentially now a redesigned 3-tier PPO. So you still have in-network and out-of-network, but you've sort of got a middle tier, which instead of a 90-10 split, for example, is an 80-20. And so there's just some different benefit differences there for certain hospital networks that have a minimal impact for our employees based on where our claims are, where we use and how we use Blue Choice. So for Lincoln Way employees and dependents, it was minimal. But for Blue Cross and their actuaries and underwriters and all the people that do that, right, really drove down premium cost. So good decision, we think, overall.
So other districts are experiencing the same.
There are a number of districts and other business managers who have made plan design changes or more significant overhauls
So
than we made.
I heard about
Yes.
there's some districts that group together in like a consortium to kind of stop loss or no.
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
So I guess it's 6 and 1/2 dozen another, right?
Okay.
We used to be part of a cooperative. We left
Okay.
the cooperative. We were self-insured within that cooperative. It didn't make sense for us to be there. We're large enough, and then we do our own stop loss, that it makes sense for us to stay on our own. We do, for our property casualty, group together in CLIC. I don't know, Mike, how many districts are in that?
There's got to be more than 175 districts.
Yes, so we are on our property casualty side. We looked at that as an option when we decided to go out on our own. And in our meetings with Blue Cross Blue Shield and getting our price points, we felt it was better to stay on our own and pay our actual cost. If you're in the large group, yes, you're sharing those catastrophic losses across other districts. It's 6 and 1/2 dozen the other. But we are large enough to self-fund ourselves, and then, as I said, we've gotten better and more refined, Kelly and Corey and Mike, and working with our brokers to get those stop losses where it's actually saving over time.
I mean, the only thing I could think of would be you raise slightly your deductibles, like 250, and then we would have to contribute more board contribution towards like an HSA,
We've looked at different offerings. The HSA is something that I think we're going to have to, at some point, entertain. Our first step was changing this PPO model around a little bit, but we have discussed those HSA options. Several districts have, as they hire new staff, they grandfather them out of PPO plans. We haven't done that. That would be something we would likely have to at least discuss in bargaining. We haven't gotten to that point, but it's something to consider as these prices continue to escalate as rapidly as they have.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's what, $180,000 increase from last year, right?
Correct, and
Yeah.
it's exponentially
Yeah.
year over year over the last
Yeah.
8 years.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right, thank you.
All right. Next up is the first reading, the Board of Education meeting scheduled for 2026 through 2027.
Made some minor adjustments to the Board of Ed schedule. We would start in August, August 20th, August, September, October, November. We would move up a week. The reason for doing that, Triple I and the conference downtown actually starts on that Thursday. If any of us were ever to present, I know Mike has in the past, I know Jen does every year, moving it up a week would open that up, would open that up for us to do so. We have checked, double-checked, I probably got it wrong again, but by moving the April board meeting back a week,
Yeah.
it should fall within the confines of the election and then the canvassing and the seating. So we're gonna blame Michelle if it doesn't work this time, because I've messed it up the last 2 times, and we counted and double counted, correct?
It will work, Dr. Tingley.
Thank you. So that's why we moved that back a week. So the election then will be in April. By moving it back to the 29th, we'll be able to seat the new board at that meeting, because that would be within that window. And then finish up with May and June.
Sounds good.
And so we'll bring that up, then we'll bring that back next month and put that in the books.
Get the lamination machine ready.
Laminate it and go.
Rich, you should be able to make that August 20th meeting. You should be able to make that one. It's a little bit later.
Yeah, we put it back a week. We're
Yeah.
not messing with anybody.
He's going to show up? No, the week earlier. Legislative report.
I did include just an update on the governor's budget address and where they're going to fund some of the tiers. They are going to prorate our categoricals once again. Now, of course, it was stated there'll be an increase in categorical funding. That proration has gotten worse. So that specifically is regular student transportation, special ed transportation, or private facilities. Mike, help me out. There's a couple more there, but they will be prorated even further. Special ed reimbursements
You got it.
across the
Yep.
special ed reimbursements across the board. We are going to receive less funding from the state, and that's true of all, public schools in the state of Illinois. So when they say, "Oh, we're increasing it by 151 million," that does not keep up with our current proration. So we will be at 60% or below in many of those categories now in terms of reimbursement funding. So we're okay. We've made adjustments. We're going to come back to the board with the financial 5-cast next month or the month after, Mike.
We
It's
can
ready to
do-
go.
We can do next month.
So
Let's do next month.
it's been sitting on my desk for 2 days, going through it, and we're okay. So we've made the adjustments. In fact, we made the adjustments with this and a 2.2 CPI,
2.4, and then in the out years, 2.2. Yep.
2.4 currently, and then 2.2. So we're okay. We'll bring that back next week. But I did at least want to show this. Continued discussion on cell phones and social media. Talk to other superintendents about this. We work with our teachers on this. Many of our teachers have plans in place for students and their cell phones in the classrooms. They put it in a cubby, they put it in a case, they put it wherever. I don't know that we need the legislator to tell us what to do in our buildings. We kind of manage our own there. They've softened on that approach. Now they're saying, well, they can have it in lunch and they can have it in passing periods, but they can't have it in the classrooms. Most of our teachers don't allow that anyway, but we'll work through that. But the biggest thing is the budget and kind of continuing to watch how that unfolds across the board.
Okay, thank you. Anything from the superintendent?
Not this evening.
Any other district business?
None at this time.
No correspondence?
Nope.
All right, with that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn to closed session for the purposes of discussing the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of employees, collective negotiating, student disciplinary cases, and student-related matters. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All right, we'll be heading to closed session, which there will be action afterwards.
There will. Yeah.
Are we back in open session? We're good with the cameras?
Yep.
Yep. All right, back in open session. Quick announcement, I forgot to mention that due to Ms. Stokes' absence tonight, we need to appoint Ms. Burkhold as Secretary Pro Tem. So she served as Secretary for tonight's meeting. And back in open session, we have a motion to approve the ratification of the collective bargaining agreement between the Lincoln Way High School Board of Education District Number 210 and the Lincoln Way High School Educational Support Professionals, IEA, NEA, LW210 for 2025 through 2030?
No, 2028.
2028, as presented. A motion and a second. Can you please open the vote?
Voting is open. Vote is unanimous, motion passes.
All right, thanks to everyone on both sides. Glad we finally got a deal done. Moving on, we have a motion to approve the contract for the Director of Technology as presented. We have a motion and a second. Can you please open the vote? The meetings don't last that long
Voting is
anymore.
open. This vote is unanimous, motion passes.
All right, next up is motion to approve the contract for the principal of Lincoln Way West as presented.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. Can you please open the vote?
Voting is open. This vote is unanimous, motion passes.
All right, there being no other business, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
A motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All right, we are adjourned, and our next meeting is March 19th, 2026.